Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Amma ba'd, habita fillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hayyak Allah. Asal Allah kareem rabbil arsh al-azim an yatawallana fi dunya wal akhirah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all with ikhlas, with thabat ala sunnat nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. May Allah Azza wa Jal raise us up amongst the ranks of the righteous and help us to purify our souls and come closer to Him during this holy month of Ramadan. Ahabati fillah, a question was asked, and I don't have the question right in front of me, but it was asked about for a sister who has whose father is maybe a fasiq, is a wicked sinner, or does not pray, or prays sometimes. Is he the wali? This, ahabati fillah, is a very major fiqh issue. And with it, one of the things we have to remember is how to practice that fiqh within our context and within our societies. And what I mean by that is, without knowing further information about the questioner, for example, if the questioner is in a Muslim land, then they have a Islamic judge, a qadi, and of course this is a very difficult and touchy situation, and probably the reality of how it's going to be practiced, even in a lot of Muslim lands, is going to be very difficult to deal with this mas'ala, in that a daughter going to the judge and saying, my father doesn't pray, who's my wali? That this is a very difficult scenario. But however, the fuqaha have talked about these kind of issues in the kutub al-fiqh, or in fatawa of the scholars. And so first I would say, with regards to if you're in a Muslim land, to see if there are people who can at least encourage your father to pray, because the reality is, in many traditional societies and cultures, even if they're in the West, that the father is not going to be very happy, even if he is a wicked sinner and he does not pray and he drinks alcohol during Ramadan even, that he is not going to be very happy. And some of them, because of, we know the people who are do these kind of jealousy killings, for honor killings they call them, and things like this, that this can be very problematic in some of the cultures. So with that, those things must be kept in mind, obviously, for the sense of your safety. And that's why I say these are difficult scenarios. However, in a scenario, and one of the scenarios we've witnessed is, for example, a sister who considers herself a revert, in that she never practiced Islam, but she comes from a Muslim background, and her father was never really a practitioner of Islam, even though he had Islamic roots and a Muslim name and so forth. So when marriage became a reality for her, the one who proposed actually, and I believe this is a very good way in those scenarios, if the father is not practicing and he is not a violent person and he is more of an understanding person, that the suitor went to the father, spoke with him, got a feel for him, let him know his intention, and in seeking the father's blessing, in seeking his assistance in that area, although that father was not really Islamically a wali, because he does not practice Islam at all, not even the salams or anything. And so with that being the case, the suitor went to the family, met the father. The father did not give his blessings, but was not hostile about it. And the mother actually was there to encourage that process and wanted the daughter to be married to this suitor. So the suitor went to, found someone local who actually acted as the wali, someone who was um, a trustworthy imam or something like this, in a responsible person in the community. So these kind of scenarios are very touchy. So if the scholars also, they differ with regards to the issue of if the father is praying sometimes versus not praying at all, and making takfir of the one who doesn't pray, that this is another mas'ala. So those who hold that the father, by not praying or has missed even one prayer deliberately, that this there are those scholars that make takfir of them, say that he is no longer a Muslim, so he is not a wali from that perspective. So that is one goal. And with that being the case, I do believe it's a good idea that you take those sensitivities under consideration, meaning that when someone wishes to marry a woman in this scenario, that it's a good idea, if possible, even if it's a non-Muslim family, to, they are not hostile towards this situation and towards the suitor and so forth, that you should try to ease their mind and heart. And of course, they should be present if possible, if they want to be present, that you should make them feel welcome, that you are going to become a part of that family. So it is a good idea from wisdom and respectfulness to still include the father, but let them know that, hey, someone is the wali. They won't even understand this as a guardian. And you can perhaps, show them some information about this, or whatever the case may be. But the point is not to trample on the father in general, that he should not feel very slighted, if possible. I'm saying if possible. But if he is a non-practicing one, then regardless, you will have to have a suitable wali, that is a Muslim, that is hopefully not a fasiq, meaning a wicked sinner, and that is obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and trustworthy to look over your affairs. And we hope that that brings some clarity, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, to accept our good and forgive our evil. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad.